All right, Maya. Time to close those eyes. It's sleepy time.
Sam, I have a question.
Of course you do. You always have a question at bedtime. Last night it was why fish don't get thirsty. The night before that, it was whether worms have feelings.
And you never answered the worm one properly, by the way.
Worms are fine. They're very happy. Go to sleep.
Sam,
Yes?
what if instead of this bed, I slept on a cloud?
A cloud.
A big, fluffy, white, marshmallowy cloud. Right here, in my room.
Well, that is...
You don't know, do you?
I know plenty of things. I know that clouds are up there, in the sky, where they belong.
But what if we brought one inside?
You want to bring a cloud inside.
Just one. A small one. For sleeping.
Maya, I...
Like a pet cloud, but for sleeping on.
Okay, let's think about this. If you brought a cloud inside, first of all, how are you getting it in? Through the front door?
Obviously, through the front door. You'd hold it like a big, fluffy balloon and walk it in.
Right. And clouds, just so you know, are actually made of millions and millions of teeny tiny water droplets, or sometimes ice crystals.
Ice crystals?
Up high where it's really cold, yeah. Clouds are basically just a huge collection of water hanging in the air.
So they're not fluffy?
They look fluffy from down here, but if you walked into a cloud, it would feel more like walking into a very thick fog. Kind of damp, a little chilly.
Like when the bathroom gets steamy after a shower?
Exactly like that. That steam in the bathroom, that's basically a tiny little homemade cloud.
I made a cloud in our bathroom?
Every single time you take a hot shower, you're basically a cloud scientist and you didn't even know it.
That is the coolest thing anyone has ever told me.
I have my moments.
Okay, but wait. If a cloud is made of water droplets,
Mm-hmm.
then if I tried to sleep on one,
You'd fall right through it.
no!
Yes, you can't sit on a cloud. Your body would just go straight through all those water droplets like walking through mist.
That's that's very upsetting, Sam.
I know, I'm sorry. The cartoons have really misled you on this one.
In every movie, clouds look like giant cotton balls.
I know. Very fluffy, very sittable, very much a lie.
So nobody has ever sat on a cloud?
Not successfully, no. Pilots fly through them all the time in airplanes, and you know what they see?
What?
Just gray or white mist going past the window. That's it. No fluffy cushions, no cloud furniture.
That is a massive disappointment for pilots everywhere.
I think they've come to terms with it.
Have they, though?
Probably not. Pilots are secretly devastated.
Okay, so I can't sit on a real cloud, but what if someone made a cloud you could sit on, like an inventor?
Now that's interesting. You mean like engineer a cloud?
Yeah, like a super thick, bouncy, actually sittable cloud.
Well, people have actually experimented with things called aerogels.
Aerogels?
Aerogels. They're these incredible materials that are made mostly of air, like 99% air, but they're solid. You can hold them in your hand.
You're making that up.
I promise I'm not. They look like little pale blue or pale gray chunks of almost nothing, super light, and they're sometimes called frozen smoke because they look kind of see-through and misty.
Frozen smoke?
Scientists are very good at dramatic names sometimes.
So frozen smoke is like a solid cloud?
Kind of. It's the closest thing we have to a solid cloud. You can actually balance a brick on a piece of aerogel that weighs almost nothing itself.
Do I sleep on aerogel?
It's a bit crumbly and prickly, so probably not the most comfortable.
Okay, that's still a no from me.
Yeah, inventors are still working on the Dream Cloud mattress. Maybe that's your job one day.
Maya's Cloud Beds. That's my company name. I'm calling it right now.
I want 10%. I gave you the idea.
You get 0% because your best cloud bed idea was something crumbly and prickly that I'd fall right through anyway.
Fair enough.
Sam, okay, so what do clouds actually feel like? Has anyone ever touched one?
Well, like I said, pilots fly through them, and people who climb really tall mountains sometimes walk right through low clouds near the mountaintops.
They do?
Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the whole world, is so high that its peak is basically always surrounded by clouds. Climbers up there are literally walking through clouds.
What do they say it feels like?
Cold, wet, hard to see through. Your face gets a little damp, your jacket gets wet. It's like being inside a freezing cold, foggy room with no walls.
A room with no walls is just outside.
Technically, yes.
So it feels like being outside in cold fog?
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay, so real clouds are basically nature's way of getting you wet without it properly raining. They're like sneaky pre-rain.
That is an extraordinarily accurate description of clouds, actually.
I'm a scientist.
You really might be.
What kinds of clouds are there? Like, do they all look different?
Oh, loads of different kinds. They even have names.
Clouds have names?
Official scientific names, yes.
Like people names?
Not quite. There are cumulus clouds. Those are the big, puffy white ones that look like giant cauliflowers floating around.
I love cauliflower clouds.
Most people do. Then there are stratus clouds, which are flat and gray and they stretch out across the whole sky like a big gray blanket.
Stratus clouds sound boring.
They're a bit gloomy, yeah. They're the ones that make a whole day feel dark and gray without it actually raining.
Rude of them.
Very inconsiderate clouds. And then there are cirrus clouds. Those are the wispy, feathery ones way up high. The ones that look like someone dragged a paintbrush across the sky.
Oh, I know those ones. They look like long white scratches.
Exactly. Those are made of ice crystals because they're so very high up, like 6 to 12 kilometers above the ground. That is incredibly cold up there.
How cold?
Below minus 40 degrees, sometimes minus 60 or colder.
-40?
Yep.
Sam, that's so cold.
It really is.
People complain when it's -5.
And the cirrus clouds are just chilling, literally, at minus 40 or colder, without complaining once.
Clouds are tougher than people.
Clouds don't have feelings, which makes being cold a lot easier.
Or maybe they do have feelings, and they're just very brave.
I cannot rule that out.
What's the biggest kind of cloud?
Oh, great question. The biggest, most dramatic, most impressive cloud is called a cumulonimbus.
Cumulonimbus?
Cumulonimbus. Say it with me. Q, mu, lo, nim, bus.
Cumulonimbus.
Perfect. Those are the massive thunderstorm clouds. They can be 12 to 20 kilometers tall.
20 kilometers tall?
The really extreme ones, yes. They're absolutely enormous, like a skyscraper made of cloud that reaches from the ground almost to the edge of our atmosphere.
That's taller than Mount Everest.
Much taller. Mount Everest is about 8.5 kilometers. A big cumulonimbus can be more than twice that height.
And those are the ones with lightning?
Yes. Inside those clouds, there are tiny ice crystals and water droplets all bumping into each other at high speed because of wild winds inside the cloud. All that bumping creates static electricity.
Like when I rub a balloon on my hair.
Exactly. Same idea, just on a colossal scale. The electricity builds up and up and up until, crack! It has to go somewhere, so it shoots out as lightning.
Lightning is basically a giant balloon hair trick.
At its heart, kind of, yes.
I'm going to explain lightning like that at school, and my teacher is going to be so confused.
Please do. That is your destiny.
Sam, what about the clouds that are really low? Like fog. Is fog a cloud?
Yes, fog is literally just a cloud that's sitting on the ground.
So fog is a cloud that got too tired to float and just sat down.
That's actually pretty close to what happens, yes.
A cloud looked at all that sky and said, "Nope, I'm done. I'm sitting here at ground level and nobody can stop me."
Exactly that energy.
Lazy cloud.
Exhausted cloud, cut us some slack.
Does the fog cloud eventually get back up?
Yes, when the sun comes up and heats the ground, the fog evaporates. It turns back into water vapor and disappears into the air.
So the sun basically tells the lazy cloud to wake up and get back to work.
The sun is a very bossy manager.
I like the sun.
Everyone does, even lazy fall clouds.
Okay, Sam, so back to my original plan.
The cloud bed.
The cloud bed. If a real cloud won't work, what's the fluffiest, most cloud-like thing I could sleep on?
Well, you are already sleeping on something pretty amazing, actually.
This bed?
That mattress you're laying on right now. Do you know what it's made of?
Mattress stuff?
Memory foam, which is a material originally developed with help from NASA.
My mattress is from space.
Sort of. Back in the 1960s, an engineer working with NASA was given a mission: develop better cushioning for aircraft seats, something that would absorb impact really well and keep people safe and comfortable.
And they made my mattress?
They made the material that eventually became your mattress, yes. It was called slow springback foam. It molds to the shape of your body and then slowly bounces back.
That's why it feels like it squishes around me.
Exactly. It distributes your weight evenly so no one part of your body gets too much pressure. It's basically science hugging you to sleep.
Science hugs. That's my new favorite thing.
You're sleeping in a piece of space history every night.
I'm never going to take this mattress for granted ever again.
Good. It deserves respect.
I'm going to say goodnight to it before I sleep from now on.
That seems reasonable.
Good night, space mattress.
It says good night back, I'm sure.
Okay, I'm not actually tired yet, though.
I know.
Sam, do you think there are clouds on other planets?
Yes, other planets have clouds, but not like ours.
What kind of clouds?
Well, Venus, the second planet from the Sun, has clouds made of sulfuric acid.
What's sulfuric acid?
It's an extremely strong acid, very dangerous, very corrosive, which means it eats through things.
The clouds on Venus eat things?
Essentially, yes. You would absolutely not want to walk through a cloud on Venus.
That sounds like the worst vacation spot in the solar system.
Venus is genuinely terrible. Hot enough to melt lead, crushing air pressure, acid clouds. Very uninviting.
No thank you, Venus.
0 stars, would not recommend.
What about Jupiter? Does Jupiter have clouds?
Jupiter has incredible clouds. Those beautiful orange and cream and brown stripes you see on Jupiter, those are clouds. Bands of clouds swirling all the way around the planet.
Are they made of scary acid too?
Some of them are made of ammonia ice crystals, which is also not great. And the winds inside Jupiter's clouds can reach over 600 kilometers per hour.
600!
The fastest surface wind ever officially recorded on Earth was around 400 kilometers per hour, and that was during an incredibly powerful tropical cyclone in Australia. Jupiter's clouds winds beat even that easily.
Jupiter's clouds are showing off.
Jupiter shows off a lot in general. It's the biggest planet. It knows what it's doing.
What about Saturn? Saturn looks so pretty.
Saturn has clouds too, and Saturn actually has some of the fastest winds in the solar system, around 1,800 kilometers per hour near its equator. Only Neptune beats it.
1,800!
Saturn is not messing around.
Saturn is wild.
Saturn is wild and beautiful and also absolutely lethal.
Space is full of beautiful things that would immediately kill you.
That's actually a very profound observation.
I have those sometimes.
You really do.
Sam, okay, I want to go back to the original question.
You never forget the original question.
Never. Okay, so I can't sleep on a real cloud because I'd fall through, and the mattress is very scientifically impressive. But what if we made the room feel like a cloud? Like made a cloud atmosphere?
A cloud atmosphere. In your bedroom.
Mist, soft light, very floaty vibes.
Well, you'd need a humidifier, which adds moisture to the air. Some people use those actually. The air in some bedrooms gets really dry, especially in winter.
Does dry air mess up sleep?
It can. Dry air can make your nose and throat feel scratchy. It can make you snore more. Some people find that a little moisture in the air helps them breathe better and sleep more soundly.
So, a humidifier is like a little cloud maker.
Essentially, yes. It releases a fine mist into the room. Some of them even have little night lights, so you get a glowing mist cloud in the corner of your room.
That sounds magical.
It does, doesn't it?
Can we get one?
We can look into it.
I want one shaped like a cloud.
Obviously.
And I want it to glow soft blue.
Of course.
And I want it to make a gentle whooshing sound.
Now you're describing a bedroom weather machine.
I want a bedroom weather machine.
Add it to the list.
What else would make a room feel like a cloud?
Well, the color white is obviously very cloud-like, and soft, diffused lighting, not a harsh, bright light, but a gentle, soft glow. That's very cloud-like. You know when the sun is behind a cloud and everything looks sort of soft and even?
Like when it's not quite sunny and not quite cloudy and everything looks really gentle?
Exactly that. Photographers actually love that light. They call it softbox light, and it makes everything look smooth and dreamy.
My room should have dreamy light.
Your night light basically does that already.
Huh, I guess it does.
You've accidentally been living in a cloud-adjacent room this whole time.
Accidentally genius. That's my whole thing.
It really is.
Sam, why do clouds float? Like they're made of water. Water is heavy. Why don't they just fall?
Oh, this is a great one. So the water droplets in a cloud are incredibly, incredibly tiny. Like a raindrop is about 1,000,000 times bigger than the tiny droplets inside a cloud.
1,000,000 times?
The cloud droplets are so small and so light that the warm air rising up from the ground, called updrafts, keeps pushing them up as fast as gravity pulls them down.
The air catches them.
Exactly. It's like if you have a really light feather, air currents can keep it floating even though gravity is pulling on it. The droplets are just light enough for the air to keep them up.
So clouds are basically floating on rising warm air.
Yes, and when the droplets get bigger and heavier, when lots of little droplets bump into each other and merge together, they get too heavy for the air to hold up.
And then they fall as rain.
Exactly. Rain is just when the cloud's water droplets get too chunky to stay floating.
Clouds are like holding on to water until they can't anymore. And then they just let it go.
That's really beautifully put, actually.
I'm a poet.
A cloud poet.
The best kind.
Undeniably.
Can you make a cloud? Like in real life, in your hand?
Actually, yes. There's a really cool experiment you can do. You take a glass jar, you put a little bit of warm water in the bottom, you hold a piece of ice over the top, and then you squirt a tiny bit of hairspray inside.
Hairspray?
The hairspray gives the water vapor tiny little particles to cling to, the same way real clouds need tiny little particles of dust or pollen or sea salt to form around in the real sky.
Clouds need dust?
Every cloud droplet forms around a tiny little particle, a speck of dust, a bit of sea salt, even a tiny piece of pollen. The water vapor latches onto that particle and builds around it.
So every single raindrop that has ever fallen on anyone's head had a piece of dust in the middle of it?
Yes, the very center of every raindrop starts with a tiny particle.
I feel like we should have been told this earlier in life.
It does change how you feel about rain a little bit.
Slightly dusty rain.
The amounts are so tiny they're completely harmless.
I know. It's still a surprise, though.
Science is often surprising.
That's why I like it. Okay, so the jar experiment, what happens?
A tiny cloud forms inside the jar, right there in your kitchen. A little wisp of cloud floating around in a jar.
I want to do that tomorrow.
We can do that tomorrow.
That's the best thing you've said all night.
I'll note that the NASA mattress fact is sitting right there, slightly offended.
Tied with the NASA mattress.
I'll take it.
Sam, do clouds make sounds? Like, is there cloud noise?
Well, on their own, clouds don't really make sound. But what comes from clouds makes plenty of sound.
Thunder.
Thunder! Do you go why thunder sounds the way it does?
Because of lightning?
Yes. When lightning flashes, it heats the air around it very fast to about 30,000 degrees Celsius.
30,000?
The surface of the sun is only about 5,500 degrees, so lightning is temporarily about 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
Lightning is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun?
Just for a tiny fraction of a second. But yes.
This is bananas.
So, the air around the lightning gets superheated very fast, which makes it expand really suddenly, like a tiny explosion, and that expansion sends out a shock wave.
And the shock wave is the boom?
The shock wave is the boom. Thunder is literally the sound of air being shocked by lightning heat.
So when I hear thunder at night, that's an explosion happening 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun in the sky?
Essentially, yes.
Storms are so dramatic.
They really are.
I feel like storms know they're impressive and they lean into it.
Storms definitely have main character energy.
Enormous main character energy with lightning accessories.
You know, you said more insightful things about clouds tonight than most adults manage in a week.
I'm going to write a book about this.
You're 6.
So, Clouds, a report by Maya. That's the title I've decided.
Bestseller. I can already tell.
Sam, I have another question.
Of course you do.
If clouds are water, and rain comes from clouds, and rivers and oceans evaporate to make more clouds, is the water in the clouds the same water going around and around?
Yes, that's called the water cycle. And yes, the water on Earth has been going around and around for billions of years.
Billions?
The water you drank today could have, somewhere along the very long chain of things, been part of a cloud over a dinosaur.
I drink dinosaur cloud water?
Potentially. Or it could have been part of an ancient river, or a glacier, or a rainstorm over an ocean that no longer exists. The same water molecules on Earth are really, really old, yes.
That is so incredibly cool. I feel like my water glass should come with a history book, like this water has previously been a cloud over a T-Rex, a river in ancient Rome, a puddle in a dinosaur footprint, and a raindrop over a medieval castle.
Drinking water would become a very long process.
Worth it.
Probably worth it.
Sam, when I look out the window at nighttime and there are no clouds, the sky looks really far away. But when there are clouds, it looks closer. Is that just me?
That's not just you. That's actually a real psychological and visual thing. Stars at night look incredibly far away because there's nothing in between you and them, just empty darkness going on for millions of light years.
That makes my brain feel funny.
Mine too. But clouds are much, much closer. Most clouds are between about 2 and 12 kilometers above the ground.
That's way less far than stars.
A star, like our sun, is about 150 million kilometers away. The nearest cloud might be just a couple of kilometers up.
So clouds are like friendly sky things, nearby sky things. The stars are the distant, unknowable things, and clouds are just hanging around close by. Like the stars are strangers, and clouds are neighbors.
I really love that. Cloud neighbors who occasionally flood your backyard. But yes,
Rude neighbors.
wet, rude neighbors.
who also occasionally make it impossible to see anything on the drive to school.
Fog clouds are the absolute worst neighbors.
But the serious clouds up high, the feathery ones,
Yeah?
they seem nice. Like they're just floating around, not bothering anyone.
Cirrus clouds are pretty decent. They don't cause rain. They just look pretty. Low maintenance sky decoration.
I respect them for that.
They've earned it.
Sam, I think if I did have a cloud bed, and if it somehow worked and was fluffy and floaty, and you could lie on it,
Hmm?
I think it would be cold
Probably yes.
and damp
Very likely.
and kind of hard to sleep on because you'd keep drifting around.
The wind would be a real issue, yeah.
And it would be so very high up in the sky.
Unless it was a lazy fall cloud that sat down.
Even then, it would be outside.
And your pajamas will get soaked.
And the dew would make your hair frizzy.
The ice crystals in the high clouds would be genuinely dangerous.
So actually,
Actually,
my normal bed is way better than a cloud bed.
there it is.
I mean, it's dry, it's warm, it has my blanket that smells like laundry soap.
And it was developed with help from NASA.
The NASA mattress. I keep forgetting to appreciate that properly.
Honestly, if you think about it, the NASA-inspired memory foam mattress that molds to the exact shape of your body and is perfectly warm and dry and inside and not 40 below zero is probably the best sleeping surface in the known universe.
Better than anything on Venus?
Infinitely better than anything on Venus.
Better than Jupiter with its winds of 600 kilometers per hour.
You'd never get a wink of sleep on Jupiter.
And better than a real cloud, which is basically fancy cold fog.
The dream, as it turns out, was the mattress you had all along.
Very profound, Sam.
Thank you. I try.
I'm still getting a cloud-shaped humidifier, though.
A glowing blue cloud-shaped humidifier. I have not forgotten.
Good. Hold me to that.
I will.
Sam,
Yeah?
what kind of dreams do you think would come if you thought really hard about clouds before you fell asleep?
Oh, I think you dream about floating, about being very light. Like the kind of dream where you realize you can jump really high, and then you realize that if you just sort of keep going, you don't have to come back down.
I love those dreams, the floating kind, where you're just drifting above everything and it's quiet, and you can see everything really small below you.
You drift up past the fog clouds first, the lazy ones who gave up.
Bye, fog clouds. Get some rest.
Then up through the big puffy cumulus ones, the cauliflower ones you like.
They'd be soft to drift through even if you fell through them.
Like swimming through mist.
And your hair would get a little wavy.
From the moisture, yes.
And then you'd get up to the cirrus clouds, the feathery ones.
Way, way up high, where everything is very cold and very quiet, and there are ice crystals just drifting around catching the light.
And from up there, could you see the whole Earth?
The cirrus clouds are up around 6 to 12 kilometers. From there, on a clear day, you could see for hundreds and hundreds of kilometers in every direction.
Everything would look tiny.
Cities would look like smudges of light. Mountains would look like little wrinkles. Rivers would look like thin silver threads.
And the ocean?
The ocean would look so blue, the most perfect deep blue you've ever seen, stretching out to the horizon in every direction. And right at the very top of the cirrus layer, around 12 kilometers up, on a perfectly clear day, you might just barely start to notice that the horizon has the tiniest hint of a curve to it, because the Earth is round.
The Earth curves?
The Earth is round, so yes, from high enough, you start to see the edges curve away from you,
Like you're standing on a giant ball.
because you are.
We live on a ball?
We do.
A ball flying through space?
A ball flying through space at about 30 kilometers per second around the sun.
Oh, we're going 30 kilometers per second right now, and we can't even feel it?
The atmosphere and gravity make it feel like we're sitting still. But yes, the Earth is hurtling through space at enormous speed every single second,
And the clouds are just riding along on this space ball.
hanging out on the outside of the space ball, yes, just above the surface,
a thin little layer of sky. And inside that sky, the clouds.
That's the most amazing thing.
It really is when you stop and think about it.
We're flying through space on a ball with a blanket of clouds around it.
A warm, protective, water-cycling, rain-making, lightning-producing blanket of clouds.
The Earth has a cloud blanket?
The atmosphere is a kind of blanket, yes. It traps warmth and protects us from a lot of the sun's harsh radiation.
The Earth is smart.
The Earth figured this out about 4 billion years ago.
4 billion years is a long time to be smart.
It's an extremely long time. And in all of that time, through ice ages and dinosaurs and everything, those water molecules have kept going around and around, evaporating into the sky, forming clouds, falling as rain, flowing into rivers and oceans, evaporating again.
The big circle.
The big, beautiful, never-ending circle.
Sam, I feel like I learned so much tonight and also got a little sleepy thinking about drifting through feathery cirrus clouds way up high where everything is ice crystals and silence.
That does sound very sleep-inducing.
You planned this, didn't you?
I have absolutely no idea what you mean.
You sneaky, sneaky person.
I simply answered your very good questions with honest facts.
And somehow I ended up getting sleepy.
Science is relaxing when it involves floating.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes.
Good plan.
And I'm going to imagine I'm a very light water droplet
Tiny and light.
being carried up by a warm air current
Up and up and up.
to go join a big fluffy cumulus cloud.
The best kind.
And I'll just float there, in the cloud, with all the other droplets.
Nice and peaceful.
Not cold because this is a dream cloud and dream clouds are perfect.
Dream clouds are whatever temperature you want.
Warm and fluffy and exactly right.
Exactly right.
And I'll look down and see your house really tiny, and the tree in the yard, and everything will be quiet and still.
And you'll feel very floaty and very light.
And very safe.
Very, very safe.
Because it's just a dream cloud and nobody's going anywhere.
Nobody's going anywhere. Just floating.
Just floating.
Just floating.
Sam,
Hmm?
the cloud-shaped humidifier. Don't forget.
I won't forget.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Maya. Sleep well up there on your cloud.
Good night, space mattress.
Good night, space mattress.
And just like that, Maya drifted off, floating on her NASA-inspired mattress, breathing the kind of slow, deep breaths that sound almost like wind moving through tall grass on a quiet afternoon. Somewhere outside, a thin white cirrus cloud passed silently over the moon, made of ice crystals and old water and stories as ancient as the planet, traveling its endless circle across the sky. And if you happened to look up at the right moment, it looked almost exactly like a feather painted very lightly across the dark. Good night,